Looking at the numbers posted by Britannia for the third quarter as well, and the FMCG major has reported revenues and profit numbers pretty much in line with what the street was penciling in. The revenue for the quarter has risen. It's risen marginally and has come in at 4,256 crore rupees. But the profit after tax has taken a fall of about 0.25% and has come in at 555 crores. But margins are at 19.29%, which means it is higher than what analysts were expecting. But to be able to understand that entire set of numbers that Britannia has posted just earlier this evening, my colleague Vinnie is joining us on the phone line. Vinnie, if you can bring us up to speed with how the third quarter has panned out for Britannia. We're seeing a certain kind of softness in the profits, but the margins seem to have improved this time.
Absolutely. So in terms of the revenue and profits, like you were mentioning, that's in line with what the street was expecting. But profits, yes, when you look at it, we are seeing a decline. But do not forget the versus figure, the last year's figure is an adjusted profit that we take because last year there was an exceptional item of 300 crores. And that is why a decline in terms of the profit that we're seeing, a muted performance in terms of the profits of the company. Margin surely, yes, doing better than what the street was expecting. So in terms of the pressure for the raw material prices, that's not much in terms of an inflation now. And that is what something maybe is supporting the margins of the company. Other than that, in terms of the presentation, the company has also highlighted that they've been continuing to focus on the rural journey as well and expanding their reach there. They also highlighted that their regions, state focuses, which they have special focus areas, that's doing much better in terms of growth, and this is despite the rural demand being weak. So that's an interesting commentary that's come in on that front. And international business, they said, is seeing a double-digit growth across their key markets as well. They're going to be staying vigilant in terms of the raw material prices because of the global and geopolitical tensions that we're seeing, and they'll continue to invest in terms of brands and stay price competitive is what they are highlighting. And in terms of obviously market share and sustainability are going to be the key focus areas as well. So yes, overall seems like the volume growth for the company will be at around 3%-ish is what we're expecting. This is the input number as of now, but there was a price deflation, so that is why maybe the volume growth could be at around that figure, Vikram.
Very much for putting the numbers reported by Britannia for the third quarter. Let's get some expert perspective on this. And for that, Preeyam is joining us. Preeyam is Senior Research Analyst for the FMCG sector at Axis Securities. Great to have you with us, Preeyam. Do tell us from what you're reading in terms of numbers from Britannia in the third quarter overall, and especially on the margin front, where we're seeing a little better performance despite the softness in the profits. Overall, what do you make of the third quarter for Britannia compared to your own estimates?
Yeah, so if I compare to my estimates, the numbers are in line with our estimates. So we anticipated low single-digit revenue growth. Also because the company is facing the challenges in terms of the competition. Also, they have taken the annualization of the price hikes was also the impact of in this quarter. So overall, the numbers are in line with our estimates. Also on the margins front, like you have highlighted that on the EBITDA margin front, yes, there is a slight miss on that front because the company has increased the ad spend, right, ahead of the competition. So yeah, so the numbers are pretty in line with our estimates.
Right, Preeyam, this is Vinnie joining in as well. Preeyam, I also want to know in terms of volume growth, what does that look like and what is the figure that you all are penciling in it's coming at as of now in terms of volume growth?
So volume growth, we are anticipating flat only. So we didn't expect it much, only one flat or 1% volume growth. So the entire we expect is driven by the volume growth. As companies took the price cuts in terms of India's competition.
Right, and Preeyam?
In trade tomorrow and in the long term compared to its peers in the FMCG universe.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
I was just asking you what you expect on the Britannia counter in trade tomorrow and in the long term as well when you compare its peers within the FMCG universe. How do you expect it to do?
So what we expect is that counter would be, so they have already corrected, the stock is already corrected 2% today. So we as a Axis, we don't expect much in terms of price movement. But if you see it on the valuation front, so yes, the valuations are expensive given the competitive intensity scenario. So we expect not much upgrades as well in the earnings part.
Preeyam Tolia from Access Securities. Thanks very much for lending your perspective in breaking down the third quarter numbers. Vinnie Motiwala for bringing us up to speed. Thanks indeed for joining us on India Tonight. We'll take a